Zoomi's prayers, owner of a lonely heart. The mirror of our lives shows that we look for and judge those whose degree of sin is one notch lower than ours appears to be. This, in a sense, is our lifeblood, keeping us afloat. Came among us one of ineffable glory, who surrendered himself to the service of the most despised, prostitutes and tax collectors. You left to us a gospel which itself is criticized in every corner of the world. It speaks in accents of the sovereign grace of God, unknown to us before your coming. If suspected, it was never seen lived out as you have done. Being rich as God alone can be rich, yet for our sake came poor as sinful man only can be poor, that by your poverty we may be made rich. How far is the distance between the highest in God and the lowest in man? Very far. Yours was a glorious life that was wholly given up to its very last thought, poured out to the very last residue of your strength, and that for the task of helping us, the lowest of us, who constantly turn away from one another, saying others are a degree more sinful than we acknowledge ourselves to be. We say, I am beside myself. In other words, I have jumped out of my own mind. We need be restored to our own selves without contrast to others. It is we who are seen in the mirror. They are in the background. A man considering his face is yet pondering his personality, knowing he is owner of a lonely heart. Yet the parts of a man are many. The spirit is banner over the soul and body, which itself is of mind and flesh. The flesh of all is extremely weak, yet the mind may be used to come to know the Lord. But the glory of the gospel is not a matter of mere intellectual enlightenment and moral persuasion. These fall within the limits of human power to produce. But what is to be made known to man is not the purification of his flesh or mind, and convincing of your truth and light. Salvation is beyond our reach by any means. It is solely in your will. Even come to seek and save sinners who are lost, it is you who does the seeking. The finding is not the mere discovery, it is the actual bringing back to God. We are restored to the blessed reality of what you are to us and what we are to you. To be found by Jesus is to be saved for the simple reason that in your person, you yourself restore the lost contact, gather up the cords of our life into your bosom, put us in the circle of your divine beatitude, to move around you, knowing no other law or center. Your dealings with us are the supreme issues of life and death. Where Jesus is, there is salvation, and away from you, there is none. We must come to ourselves as the prodigal, whereas before we were beside ourselves. Along the narrow way to you, the garden of your life overhangs and envelops us even in this life. It is bordered with the flowers, which are the first fruits of paradise. Except for the intervention of God, no one has ever turned back on the broad way to perdition. You seek and save us from the plight of despair. You carry salvation in your own person. That which was lost is all things we do see, having never seen a perfect sun or moon, flower or fish, or anything upon the earth which was distorted when we were distorted. There is nothing trifling about our distraction from this, our own history, and the history of all around us. The same power and degree of power which brought Jesus in his manhood and his divinity up from the grave is the same power which creates our salvation. It is immeasurable and immeasurably precious. Amen.